Greetings from the villages in Florida. And this morning, we are going to be standing in the possibility of the High Watch. The name of the program is the High Watch, or holding the High Watch. That's one of the things it's one of the kind of buzz phrases that we have in New Thought philosophy, and to hold the High Watch. It's a place of being where we are vibrating with the resonance of the highest and best, and knowing the truth for ourselves and or for someone else. It's a wonderful gift to know the truth for others. You know, sometimes even as a science of mind licensed practitioner, if I'm in the morass of some frustrating or hard to deal with situation, and when we're having feelings, we need to feel our feelings, and that's when we can ask somebody else to hold the high watch for us. Because there's only one mind, there's only one of us, and we're each an individualizing extension, expression of source energy. So it's again a term we use in the science of mind and unity, which means that no matter what the circumstances, we trust and know that good comes from it, because it is all God. And we're going to find out more about that in a few minutes. Sometimes it just takes a bit of time or a slight adjustment in perspective. You know, you've heard that phrase, an attitude adjustment. Sometimes it may require a complete epiphany to find the gifts. They are there. Even if it's just to focus on the gift of life itself in the moment. I mean, I can remember times where it was very dark night of the soul. A few times I've had those. Am I the only one here that's ever had one? And I can remember just stopping and getting into the moment and saying, okay, I'm safe now. I'm safe in this moment. 10 minutes at a time, sometimes 1 minute at a time. How am I right now? Because the moment is where the power is, in the presence right now. That's where the power is. So we teach that God, or whatever is the God, goddess, all that is, energy, whatever it is, God of your understanding, whatever you want to call that, energy, higher power, light, infinite wisdom, source. There's so many names for this vastness. And whatever we call it is all there is. And Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, New Thought philosophy, he called God the thing itself. I like that, the thing itself. And the teaching is that everything is in the seen or the physical or the unseen metaphysical worlds. Everything, if you can see it or not, is an extension of this source energy. And we are each individualizing physical expressions, you know, in this physicality that we have, this mass that we have. We're an individualizing physical expression of the all in all. That's another word for God, all in all. And when we consciously remember to unify with this allness, we are embodying the power of spirit. It's always there, but it's up to us because we have this free will to focus on it or not. When we focus on the allness, we have the power of spirit. This is a very high watch kind of place for which to be. So I'm going to start the musical portion of the program with a little meditation, and it's called Chanting the 5 Steps. Now, the 5 steps are steps of spiritual mind treatment, and this is the one thing that kind of separates the science of mind teaching from the other New Thought philosophies. We have this. I call it. It's a technology of prayer technology. It's scientific because it's a method. There are steps, and 5 steps that's typically the most popular. I've seen, we also call it a treatment, and what it does is it treats the atmosphere of the mind. I've seen 5 steps, most typical, 6 steps, 7 steps, 3 steps. I've seen 1 step. We're going to focus on the 5 step spiritual mind treatment now, and it's a little chant. Each step, there's a little chant. And you know, when you add music and singing and listening, you know, when you hear yourself sing or talk, that's another sense. If we can combine senses, the more senses we have involved in our idea or statement, if you sing it, if you write it, God's power. And we're going to be chanting the 5 steps. And remember, it's just you and me. This will be you and me singing together because we're all on mute. Step 1, recognition. It's the principle that God is all there is. This is the idea that everything that exists in the formed and formless worlds is made of spirit, source, light, energy, power. There are at least 1,000 names or more for this divine presence. Recognition, God is all there is. And here's the little chant that goes with that. God is all there is. Try it with me. God is all there is. Again. God is all there is. And one more time. God is all there is. And I'd like to set an intention now that everybody that participates in this prayer technology, that you find the perfect idea or thought to pray for, to manifest for yourself or for someone else, for the highest and best. So that was step 1, recognition. God is all there is. We're going to move on to unification. So if God is all there is, then everything is made of this essence, as everything is energy. We know that from science. Everything is energy. And recognizing that idea brings me to the principle that I am one with God. And what's true for me is true for each one here. Every cell, atom, neutron, proton, electron is made of this divine substance. But we can never not be unified with Source. The unification comes from the remembering and being consciously aware of the truth of our being. We are an individualizing expression of all that is. This step activates when we somehow experience a little shift. Maybe I might feel some butterflies in my stomach, or we call them God bumps. Joel Goldsmith refers to this as the click. And when this happens, we have the backing of the power of the entire universe. God and I are one. Think about that. God and I. Ooh, I just got the little shift, the little click. And that step goes like this. God and I are one. Try it with me. God and I are one. And again. God and I are one. One more time. God and I are one. Now we're going to put them together. God is all there is. God and I are one. One more time, folks. God is all there is. God and I are one. And we're going to move to the 3rd step. Realization, affirmation, or declaration. It's the reason why we're praying. And when we come up with our realization, affirmation, declaration step, it's always stated in the present tense and mostly in the first person. Here's my go-to one. I am perfect, whole, and completely healthy. Or, I live in a divine flow in all aspects of my life. Sometimes it's a simple idea that all is well. That's an affirmation too. All is well. Now, if you say all is well with me, then it puts it in the first person. And here I've created an affirmation or a realization that can help you be open to the one that fits your needs. So here's the chant for you. I am open to my good. I am open to my good. I am open to my good. Let's try it 2 more times and then we'll put them together. I am open to my good. I am open to my good. Now together. God is all there is. God and I are one. I am open to my good. God is all there is. God and I are one. I am open to my good. You're doing great. We're going to move on to step 4, the gratitude step, Thanksgiving. Excuse me. And the law of attraction teaches us that what we focus on gets bigger, whether we like it or not. So if we're holding in mind the things for which we are grateful, we also know that the universe always says yes, then we will manifest more grateful moments and more wonderful demonstrations. I'm just going to take a little sip of tea while you're thinking about things that you can be grateful for. I am so grateful. Here's the chant. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. Try that with me. I am so grateful. Let's put them together. God is all there is. God and I are one. I am open to my good. I am so grateful. We're going to move on to the 5th step. Very important step. It's the release and letting go, which has us move out of the way and allow it. We allow what we want to come into manifestation. Now I like to add this or something better. We don't want to limit source. We don't want to limit God. And we can be very productive to stay open to our highest and best. That's when we're in a trusting place. We trust rather than go into fear or anxiety. Trust that all is well. This or something better is on its way. And as divine beings, remember, we're extensions of source energy. Every bit of us is made of God or goddess or energy or light or whatever you want to call that. So that we can employ the idea of having the faith of God, not just in God, but the faith of God, by releasing and trusting that it's done. Then we can let go and let God, or sometimes it might be a little easier to let God and then let go. They're both valuable. Here's the chant. I release and let it all go, like this. I release and let it all go. I release and let it all go. I release and let it all go. Are you ready to put them all together? Here we go. God is all there is. God and I are one. I am open to my good. I am so grateful. Feel that gratitude. I release and let it all go. Again. God is that into your knowing the highest and best. And you're chanting the 5 steps and adding, not just thinking it, not just saying it, but singing it and hearing it. Did you write them down? Maybe I can put those in the um, chat. I'll put them in the chat when I'm through with this. So we're going to move on to the high watch, to the actual program. That was a meditation. That's all part of the program. And so we are still technically in the season of spring. And even though March 21st was a long time ago, and Easter was a long time ago, we're still in the resurrection season as everything is still bursting and blooming. And when COVID first hit last year in March, I have 2 minister friends over on the East Coast, and Reverend Judith and Bob. And Bob was working at the hospital as a counselor. And so I remember Judith, she was getting a little bit nervous about him working in the hospital. And I remember her saying, it's our job to stay alive, our job to stay alive. And it was around Easter. And so this song came out, and I call it the High Watch. And there was a line in it, it's springtime and I'm alive. I might use the line, but I changed it to, it's so good to be alive. And I can use it all year. So I do want to say I have deep empathy for anybody who lost someone, who was sick, with anybody with losses. I have deep empathy for those people. But I do want to say that towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year, so many people said, oh, can't wait till this year's over. Or they would say, oh, I hope this year is better than last year. And I just said to them all, ever since COVID, my life got so much better because I was able to focus on different things. Some of us are calling it the great pause. Things got so much better for me and for a lot of people. And everybody that said those things, those negative things, every single person said, yeah, mine did too. So, it's a matter of what we focus on. So it's called the high watch. I watch with the eyes of God, seeing everything and being everywhere. I'm feeling with the heart of God. It's so good to be alive. The high watch is the mind of God, knowing everything and loving everyone. The high watch is the soul of God. It's so good to be alive. There's freedom in the knowing. I'm rising and I'm growing with the faith of a newborn baby. It's so good to be alive. Affirming divine order is a spiritual transformer. Affirming the perfection, it's so good to be alive. I watch with the eyes of God, seeing everything and being everywhere. I'm feeling with the heart of God, it's so good to be alive. The high watch is the mind of God, knowing everything and loving everyone. The high watch is the soul of God. It's so good to be alive. So powerful to be alive and conscious. It's so good to be alive. It's springtime and I'm alive. Yay! Okay. The high watch. So good to be alive. It is. It is. And so I want to do this other song that came through. And one of the things that happened during COVID for me was I was a member of the YMCA, and twice a week I went to the one YMCA and I did Pilates reformer classes. And a couple of days I could walk to the YMCA near my house and I would do aerobics, but the YMCA is closed. And I was like, well, what do I do now? And so my husband got my bicycle out, and I had actually only ridden my bicycle probably less than a handful of times in the last 20 years, maybe 5 times. And I used to ride my bike all the time. I would take it with me on the road. I remember I drove to Chicago. I had never been to Chicago. I come on my bike and I'm riding around the city of Chicago. It was the best exercise. And I also took up swimming when we lived over in West Palm temporarily for about 4 years, and the condo had a pool. So I got back into swimming and riding my bike almost every morning. I wake up and I ride my bike, and what's been happening is I'm alone, and all these ideas are going through my head. It's almost like a meditation for me, and so I was on my bicycle this one morning, and we have a levee in Sarasota, and and I watched myself do this, and it was a little shocking, but I saw these two people walking towards me, and I had some very negative thoughts about them. Oh, if I get mugged, they'll get my iPhone in about $20. It's like, and then I said, no, stop, I cancel. I picked up vibes. I don't know what happened, but we call that race consciousness. It means the human race, first of all. And these are thoughts, ideas, attitudes we're born into. They may be in our DNA. Things like, oh, well, your mother had breast cancer, so you might get it too. There's a good chance you'll get it. That isn't true. I don't believe that. I think we're always at choice, and we can unify with source, and we can have it be how we want it. And so we are always at choice. And if we reflexively go to a place that clearly isn't in the high watch, then we can choose to go to a more reflective place of the high watch. And as a reminder of keeping our thoughts and feelings to upliftment. And we do this by being aware of our consciousness. And we find ways to melt the moments when we're feeling good. So what happened was I approached these two people on the bike, and it was a woman and a man, and she was walking behind him. And I got the thought that they were having an argument. There was something going on. And so, but, I'm thinking, okay, well, I canceled out those negative thoughts, and this is, these are people. And so I said, good morning. Like I do that to everybody on the bike. I don't care. I'm like, good morning. Oh, what a cute dog. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, yeah, I rang the bell. Anyway, so I said, good morning. And there was nothing, no acknowledgement. And so then I went back into the reflex, and I don't think they heard me, but I said, what am I, invisible? And then from that point, there was a shift. And I wrote this song. I started to sing this song. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. And I got superpowers. So this is the high watch. This is making lemonade from lemons. So it goes like this. It's called An Invisible Woman. This is one of my favorite new songs. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I got superpowers. And again, sing with me if you want. I'm an invisible woman. And the men can sing, she's an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman, blessed with superpowers. My power is my consciousness. My power is my happiness. My power is my gratefulness. My power is my gracefulness. My power is my mindfulness. My power is my joyfulness. My power is my peacefulness. Flowing in and out of bliss. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I got superpowers. The love I share and the grace I show bring me to that sacred flow. I know how to shift and grow, and I'm an empowered woman. Life is full of challenges. Life is a game that can be played, turning lemons to lemonade. I'm an empowered woman. Power is at our command. My power is my consciousness. My power is my happiness. My power is my gratefulness. My power is my gracefulness. My power is my mindfulness. My power is my joyfulness. My power is my peacefulness. Floating in and out of bliss. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I'm an invisible woman. I got superpowers, blessed with superpowers. I got superpowers, because I declare them, blessed with superpowers. And you can too. Okay, so let's move on to another high watch place. Let's take a deep breath on that one. So one of the things that the pandemic brought me is twice a month now, sometimes 4 times a month, sometimes 3, but typically twice a month, I get to be the musician for Unity of Sarasota. For their Wednesday nights, we have music and inspiration, and it's always focused on the daily word. I know we had the daily word piece today. And so whatever the daily word is that day, I try to either write a song for the daily word or add some verses to a song I already have. So it's been a prolific year plus now for me since COVID hit. Like for me, nothing feels better than to be in that place of co-creation, the action of the stuff that's coming through and manifesting as a song, an idea. It's so powerful. So the word that day, that happened twice. This was 2 daily words. There was a word. It was called breakthrough. So it was breakthrough. And the other word was, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm getting it mixed up with, there's so many songs. No, so the word was breakthrough. So now the teaching is that, you can have a breakthrough, like all of a sudden you can have an epiphany, and it just happens. But most of the time, to have an epiphany or a breakthrough, first comes a breakdown and then a breakthrough. And some of you may remember that I was married to an oldies DJ. It was a 7-year process. And as a result of those 7 years, I have embodied doo-wop. So we're going to have a little new thought doo-wop, spiritual doo-wop. was a breakdown in my expectations with a face frown. I was feeling desperation, looking for that shiny pearl. And then I found my inner world, deep inside and through. As I entered sacred space and feeling centered in this place, there was a breakthrough, revealing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. I got a new point of view. There was a breakthrough, breaking through and through. There was a breakdown. Everything went wrong, and with a face frown, I began to write this song, looking for that shiny pearl. And then I found my inner world, deep inside and through. As I entered sacred space and feeling centered in this place, there was a breakthrough, revealing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. I got a new point of view. I found a breakthrough, yeah, breaking through and through. There's some confusion, the seeming limitation. It's just an illusion, this sense of separation. We're always changing and growing into more. Life's a rearranging metaphor. It took a shakedown to bring me back to me. This latest breakdown has really set me free, 'cause I found my inner world. I'm a radiating shiny pearl, deep inside and through. And as I enter sacred space, feeling centered in this place, there is a breakthrough, revealing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. I got a new point of view. I found a breakthrough, breaking through and through. There is a breakthrough in knowing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. With a new point of view, I am a breakthrough, and you are too, breaking through and through, breaking through and through, breaking through and through. And so it is. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Let's get back to my program here. All right. I'm just going to put this down for a second. I'm just going to stretch. Yeah, it's like to be like this for half an hour. All right. So there was a time, sometime last year, maybe towards the fall, where the idea of empathy, now it's always a good idea for empathy, but that idea was in the news because someone wasn't getting empathy, and that person's fans thought that that person should get empathy. So it brought that idea, okay, here's the word empathy. So I wrote this song called Feel Into the Heart, and I'm going to invite you to put your hand on your heart and just listen. Have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our divinity reaches through infinity when we feel into the heart. Now is the time for the changes to be made. right from wherever we are. What we hold in mind brings about in kind when we feel into the sacred heart. Have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our divinity reaches through infinity when we feel into the heart. The heart knows the way, it's the truth and the light. It's our guiding star deep within. The mind tells us what, the heart gives us why. No better time than now to begin to have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our divinity reaches through infinity when we feel into the heart. When we feel into the heart. When we feel into the sacred heart. Feel into the heart. So that line, the heart knows the way, it's the truth and the light. You know, our heart, we're finding out with heart math, the heart actually has a brain, and our heart just isn't here. It has a big vibrational frequency all around us. So the heart knows the way, it's the truth and the light. It's our guiding star deep within. And then the idea, the mind tells us what? Like, what did we want? What do we want? But the heart gives us why we want that. And that's all that's up to us. How? That's not up to us. We let source do that. We let God, we let spirit, all it is, energy, divine wisdom, we trust. If we are really clear here and clear here on what it is we want, we give it up and we let it find us. I mean, it doesn't mean we don't take some action steps, like in the spiritual mind treatment. In Science of Mind, we say, retreat and then move our feet. So we do have to take action, but it's good to listen for when that action will come, what action to take. And so I want to do this song. This is one of my favorites. This was a song that was inspired by the daily word of enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. And I was in I have every Tuesday, there's a wonderful call with my sisters, my tribe from the East Coast. I lived in West Palm Beach for 4 years for my husband's job. And it started as a Science of Mind group, and now it's just women, and we're called the Women's Spiritual Circle. And we go on Zoom every Tuesday. And one of our members, Reverend Sandy, and she starts talking and she goes, "Wow, gratitude invokes the law of increase." And I'm like, "Oh, of course it does." But I never heard it said like that. I wrote it down. Gratitude invokes the law of increase. And then I found out that we were going to be doing enthusiasm for the daily word. And so I wrote this little country song called "I'm Lifted and I'm Feeling Free." Now, to be lifted and feeling free, that is a place of the high watch. And I wrote a lot of it on the bicycle, and I'm riding down the road. I'm lifted and I'm feeling just like, I don't care. What you think of me is none of my business. So I'm expressing, I'm not hurting anybody. Hopefully I'm lifting people as well. So it goes like this. Just see if you can imagine the fiddle. Gratitude invokes the law of increase. Gratitude brings me inner peace. And there's our daily word today, peace. I'm knowing this truth enthusiastically. I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. So for me to be singing, I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. Whenever we use that expression, I am, I'm, when you put something high vibratory with it. It's going to feel really good. I'm going to do that first verse again. Gratitude invokes the law of increase. Gratitude brings me inner peace. Knowing this truth enthusiastically, lifted and I'm feeling free. Joy invokes the law of increase. Focus on the good intent and then release. I am lifted and I'm feeling free. I'm loving my life enthusiastically. Love invokes the law of increase. Loving myself brings me inner peace. Knowing this truth enthusiastically, I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. Willingness invokes the law of increase. Focus on the good intent and then release. I am lifted and I'm feeling free. I'm living my life enthusiastically. Gratitude invokes the law of increase. Gratitude brings me inner peace. Knowing this truth enthusiastically, I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. Knowing this truth enthusiastically, lifted and I'm feeling free. Sing it with me. Lifted and I'm feeling free. Like you mean it. Come on. Lifted and I'm feeling free. It's just you and me. Lifted and I'm feeling free. Lifted and I'm feeling free. Yay! Gratitude. Yay! Joy. Yay! Willingness. Yay! Enthusiasm. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. Remember that song? So I'm going to do one more song, and then we're going to have some more announcements, and then I'm going to come back after the prayer of protection with one more for everybody. And so, you know, I live in Sarasota, and Sarasota has Siesta Key, and Siesta Key is world renowned as USA #1 beach. We get that rating often. And so, I like to go to the beach in the morning. I love sunset. I mean, we look right over the Gulf of Mexico. They have amazing sunset. But I get up early and I like to go in the morning for sunrise. So you can imagine I have my back to the Gulf and I know which buildings to go and look in between these two houses or buildings. And there's a few different places where you can walk on that Siesta Beach and you can actually see the sunrise. You don't see it break through the horizon, but you get to see beautiful sunrise. And I have lots of them on my Facebook page. And so I was with my husband and my girlfriend, and I'm like, we get to the beach, and I'm like, I don't want to miss it. And I just left them in the sand, and I'm like looking for those two houses. And as I'm alone, so a lot of creativity comes when I'm alone, I'm hearing the song that George Harrison, here comes the sun, doo, doo, doo. Right, here comes the sun. And then all of a sudden, it dawns, no pun intended, it dawns on me that the sun doesn't come to us. We go to it via planet Earth. So this song came out. It's called Moving into the Sunrise. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. If you want to send me your email address, I'll put you on my newsletter list. We're working on my website. It's taken a long time. I need help with it, actually. Anyway, I'll put my email in the chat along with the 5 steps of spiritual treatment chanting. So here goes. I'm moving into the sunrise. The earth is bringing me there. We're moving into the spirit. It lights up everywhere, 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 everywhere. I'm moving into the sunrise. The earth is bringing me there. We're is. Thank you. I turn it back.
Reverend Elaine Silver. Wow, 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 wow. What a beautiful voice. What a beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts with us today. So I'm sure if you want some more information on Reverend Elaine Silver, she'll put her stuff in the chat box. Anyway, it's now that time in our service where we get to share our financial blessings with our beloved community. I ask you to place your hands over your heart with me and affirm with me, divine love as me blesses and increases all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. There are several ways to make your love offering. You can mail a check to Unity by the Shore at the address on the screen, 3508 Asbury Avenue, Neptune, New Jersey, 07753. You can also place your love offering on our website at unitybytheshore.org. There's a blue button in the upper right-hand corner that says Give Now. And our prayer for protection. As the light of God, we shine. As the love of God, we embrace. As the power of God, we stand in truth. As the presence of God, we radiate love. Wherever we are, God is and I am. And so it is. Amen. And now one more special gift from Reverend Elaine Ferry. Ferry Elaine, I get it all confused.
Well, it's bigger than that. It's Reverend Ferry Elaine of the Silver Stream of Consciousness. So that's like the whole title.
Well, there you go. We'll enjoy this. We'll enjoy your beautiful gifts. Thank you. And then stay for fellowship.
Go ahead.
And then everybody, you're welcome to stay for fellowship after this beautiful song. Enjoy.
It's called All Is Well. All is well. All is well. Continually. All is well. All is well. All is well. For you and me. Those are the words. All is well. All is well. All is well. Continually. All is well. All is well. All is well. For you and me. Let's try it together. Remember, it says you and me singing. Here we go. All is well. All is well. All is well. Continually. All is well. All is well. All is well. For you and me. I'm in the flow of love. I'm in the flow of life. In a boat of gratitude. On a river of healing light. All is well. All is well. All is well. Continually. All is well. All is well. All is well. For you and me. In the infinite flow, we find more gifts when we know that life is an attitude and challenges can help us grow. All is well. You singing? All is well. All is well. Continually. All is well. All is well. All is well. For you and me. I surrender to what is as I trust in the flow. As I breathe in healing light I affirm my gratitude as I breathe in healing light. Affirming my gratitude, I release and I let go. All right, here's your turn. Let me hear you. Continually, all is well, all is well, all is well for you and me. All is well, all is well, all is well, continually. All is well, all is well, all is well for you and me, continually. So it is. Thank you. God, Goddess bless you, and I hope to see you sometime again soon. Mwah! Love you.